books, or what my family always says, the book corner. All the books, Harry Potter, Sandra, Charlotte's Web, mini encyclopedias. I do some of the books. I do most of these, not Sandra. Maybe I'll do Sandra later. It's a good book. Now, back to Brave. Now, if you haven't watched Brave Part 1, I recommend you watch that. Now, if you watched it, welcome to Brave Part 2. George, I should say, I put out with no information, barely any clue about who George is, except he likes sports, and he's a bit big, and he looks intimidating. George is a person that looks scary. Like, he really could be very scary for some people, but he's very kind. He is really like the school sheriff, and he will help people. He loves to help people, and he likes doing what's right. And when he said baseball for the topic, there will be some occasions that, like, one, Jensen did not know anything about baseball, and George said it was okay, and he told him about baseball. But back to the story continued. When Jensen finished English, he thought George was pretty cool, and he was okay at least. He was happy that at least he had a partner in his group, because he said nobody wants to be in the same group as him, which he was so happy that he had a group partner. He went to his other classes like science, which they learned about quantum physics, and music, which they did play band, and he described that he played really badly, but Mr. Hisaya was so old, so that didn't really matter because he couldn't really hear. Then he went to computers where they made mini games. And after that, he had his most fun part and his most favorite part of the day, the art club. And this year, the art club was going to help making posters for the art show. There will be art displays and even author events, which some of the authors that were going there, like J.Y. Smith and Ina Cruz, will be hosting some workshops and some Q&As, which was very fun. Some people in the art club had some jobs. They had to make posters, do advertisements, make some contests, and build a fundraiser for the event, which there was a big sales and stuff. And Jensen wanted to help too, but he didn't know who were the other authors, so he decided that after art club, he would quickly go grab a book from the library, but those books by J.Y. Smith and Ina Cruz were famous, so all of them were stripped out. So the librarian, Miss Kratz, put him on the waiting list for J.Y. Smith and Ina Cruz's books. And then when he was walking out of the library, just when everything was going perfect, Foster and Yannick saw Jensen, and Jensen knows that he was getting bullied again. So Jensen ran off, and Foster and Yannick ran through Jensen. So Jensen went to one place that he thought was the safest, the newspaper office. The newspaper office had 3 people, which were called the newspaper crew. There were Jenny, Akila, and Philippe. These 3 people were amazing people who do the Bury Book and Bury Scoop and the newspaper, of course. And nobody wants to mess with them. So Jensen thought it was a good space to hide, since he sometimes hides there when he was bullied. And he a bit kind of knew the newspaper crew. There were Jenny, who was the leader of the newspaper crew. There's Akila, and there's Philippe. Now Philippe does the camera things and the editing stuff. And these 3 were very fierce. I mean, Jenny has 3 settings, and her emotions switch very quickly. She has 3 basic emotions. 1 is cool and professional Jenny, 2 is freaking out Jenny, and 3 is don't mess with me Jenny. And don't mess with me Jenny is basically her freaking out too much and she becomes super angry. And Felipe and Aquila were people who were sent to help her. And at first it was only Jenny and Aquila, but after that Jenny got Felipe for once like Jensen and Felipe used to get bullied, and after that Jenny and Aquila thought Felipe would be some help, and then they became the newspaper crew. And tomorrow, the next day, Jensen was, as usual, going after school normal. Math was very boring for him, and then after that, he got scolded again by Mr. Christopher. After that, he had another work period for English, but he didn't know much about baseball. And George was okay, and he printed out research articles for Jensen to read, because actually Jensen kind of confessed something in the book. He said he actually bored the library yesterday, but then Jensen forgot to read it and got lazy, so he didn't know much about baseball. And then things flash forward to the art club, and Jensen was reading the book. And there was 2 art club people, one actually called Felicity. And Felicity was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were into baseball, Jensen." And Jensen was like, I just thought they hit above the stick, but there are all these rules. And then Felicity was like, "Oh, all you need to know about baseball is the Dodgers are the best." And then after that, another guy from the art club said, "Hey, no, the Giants were the best." And then after that, there were some conflicts. And then after that, Jenny ran in and was like, "Hey, art club, can you spare someone?" And then Jenny was like, "Okay, we'll take Jensen." And then Jenny was like, freaking out, "Come quickly." She is very impatient, and she can switch between these modes, like I said, very quickly. And Jensen was very quick, so he packed really quickly. He said he never packed as quick as this before. And Jenny basically dragged Jensen wherever before Jensen can even finish packing. So he had to pack while he was running around, and that was scary. And when they reached the newspaper crew, Jenny asked Jensen, to sort out the paper in 3s and staple them, which this is a very exciting time for Jensen because it's the first time he actually helped the newspaper crew. Hope you like this video. Like and subscribe, watch my other videos, and see you next video. Bye.